Welcome back, everybody. This is MDawg. This actually is another episode in our leveling series. I know you probably were thinking like, oh, is it done? Have we seen the last of this particular leveling series? And yeah, you wouldn't be too far off. That is a possibility at any point. Once I get to this level, it does start to feel like, man, at what point are we going to just go back to playing our main account, especially with where we're going to be fishing right now? Because honestly, when I first saw this spot advertised, I was like, this is perfect for the new series, the new theme of the episodes I've been doing from my main account, which is to say checking on specific spots, right? And seeing if you can make as much money at those spots as people are claiming. Just sort of as a fun activity. Obviously RNG, everybody has a different experience, but just kind of checking it. And by the way, I know you really shouldn't, I mean, things are more expensive here, but I mean, what are we going to do? Like, we want to make some more Bream ground bait, so we're going to get some more Bream. So this spot is 6759. Grozy released a video earlier, Grozy Fishing. If you don't follow Grozy Fishing on YouTube, you should look into it. Lots of good spots and really well done, short, informative videos. Basically the opposite of what you get here. See how I can be self-deferential. But, so the advertisement is that we can get here in I3 6759 clip 15 that we can get 200 silver. In fact, I think he even on the thumbnail said 224. 224 silver. By the way, we're going to be casting just right of this log. Is this Bream ground bait? It is indeed. So let's go ahead and get our rods in the water. Start the clock. No, I want to get rods in water, honestly, because it's, you know, it's a little early, but it's almost Bream time. Oh, I should see what setup he's using really quick. He is using large one hooks, pearl barley, and much bigger leaders than we have on our leveling account. So that's what I was going to say. Like, if I had done this on my main account, then I would seriously, like, it would be a serious challenge of like, okay, can we do this? Can we make as much silver as Grozy did? But I'm doing this on this account, and I don't even have, like, I don't have all the skill points. If this is on my main account, like, I would say we could make a real run at it. Here on this account, I guess I'm not going to do it. I honestly was very tempted to go buy the third feeder rod kit there, just so that we could have 3 rods in the water. It doesn't matter. Regardless, we're at 6759. We're doing a clip of 15, and we're going to just see how well can we do on a leveling account, not our main account. We won't do as well as Grozy did, but we don't have all the skill points and all of the fancy gear. It's just the way it is. But I love the fact that regardless of how this spot does, there are more and more spots being advertised here at Old Berg where Bream are active. And there's even a Roach spot that I thought looked very interesting. And this involved using either cheese cubes or stonefly larvae. So if we still feel like fishing a little more after the Bream session's over, maybe we dance on over to, let's see, where is that? G7. So it's just around the corner here, down here, and see if we can't catch a few healthy roach sizes as well. We'll see. Either way, should be fun. Let's see how good the Bream are, and we'll go from there. So yeah, it is possible that I'm kind of back in that space, and this always happens after I've put a lot of hours in on the leveling series. I get back in that space of like, let's get back on main account. especially now that we have this sort of like focus of like doing these hour-long videos to really like check what people advertise as being their experience and see what our experience is. It's just sort of a fun structure for me. I've really enjoyed doing it. I've done a couple of episodes that way and was gonna do that with this spot, and then I was like, you know what, I'm still enjoying the leveling account enough to let's just do it over here. All right, it's a pretty decent first bream here, and that was on the smaller size hook because this is our last remaining smaller setup. So it is just now 10 p.m. and we're starting to see the bream come in. This one's a marker, I think. Yeah, it's under a kilo, but it is a marker. So we'd love to see that. So yeah, we'll see how much longer we go here. I just go, you know, there's just the rhythm of the year. Like I start off the year, we do a leveling series. It goes, it goes, it goes. And then at some point it's like, okay, I want to get back to putting time in on my main account. And so then I do videos on my main account, and I try to be a little bit more mindful of doing videos on my main account, even at lower level bodies of water. And and then you get to like summertime or whatever, and I'm like, I kind of feel like doing another leveling series. So I just go back and forth. It is what it is. I don't think we have the sugar. What was it we were going to make? Oh yeah, bream ground bait. Like, I know there was something. All right, we need more anise oil figures. Small one. So we have cheese cubes, right? I think I don't have stonefly larvae, but that's okay. We do have cheese cubes. Wait, do we not? You know what? Maybe I just bought the cheese to make cheese cubes? No? I could have sworn we did that. Oh, we do have diced cheese. Okay. Worth noting that you can't use that melted cheese product. I think we talked about this on this leveling series already, but can't use that melted cheese product to make cheese cubes. All right, there's our first bream over a kilo, and it came at 11:30 or just before 11:30. All right, let's see. I'm gonna see where Grosy sells his fish to see if he was claiming, was that including a cafe order or is that just straight up fish market? All right, that sounds healthy. This is still pretty early to have this healthy a bream, I will say that. That's over 2 kilos, I believe. Might be 3. Ooh, it's got some weight to it. 2.8, I love it. That is a nice one. That was very nice. Okay, here we go. He's selling his bream. All right, so it looks like it was just in the fish market actually. He's got at least like 23 over a kilo. Now we're down. We only have 2 rods. We don't have the 3rd rod that we can like aggressively go for it. We're using like a much smaller hook on this 3rd rod, but it still should lead to us having a pretty good night of bream. And again, I am just so tempted to go purchase that 3rd feeder rod, but I think we're too firmly into bream time now. I don't know that it makes sense. That is a huge roach, y'all. Like, huge roach. See, the question I have is, do the kits cost, are the kits standard price, or do they actually cost more at Old Berg? Like everything else does in that store. I think they cost more. So I probably wouldn't get it here anyway. They're normally what, $1.99? I guess it just depends on how much of a markup it was. That was a nice roach. All right, we got to check to see which rod has a fish on it. So this might be another roach. That is more of a roach behavior than a bream behavior. Let's see. Yeah, it is a roach. And that's what thousands of hours in RF4 will get you. The roach call. Let's just go see. We actually probably don't need cheese cubes. That was the other thing I was gonna like justify going back, is to get the cheese cubes, but we have like 30 of them, and you know, we're not gonna catch that many roach. The thing is, the roach are gonna be decent size in that spot is what we're expecting. Not that it's gonna be like the best bite rate ever. All right, so kits. Feeder start. Oh, it's 149. I mean, that's not enough of a difference to care. Like that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's worth it. Now, what would be nice is feeder leaders. Where are the leaders? Feeder leaders. What would be nice is getting, yeah, I don't know. We may just not have appropriate size leaders available here. We can do a 9.7. Here's my other question. Wait, where's that kit? What line comes on at 4.8? It's just small. Put 9.7. I hate to do that. I really do. Let's just get a mono. This will just be our not as good line. So like 5 would be good. .4 is a little too small. So we'll do 5. I mean, that's at least closer. And then real quick, how much is the cheese? It's cheap, just in case we'll do that. And then, all right, let's get back to our poor rods, because you know that, I mean, we have at least 2 fish on, and we may have a broken leader, who knows? So if you noticed, we did not set up, oh crap, do I have any size 1 hooks? This is really taking away from our bream time, isn't it? To really do this test though, like, we could put the 4 on there, but I think it makes sense to have one more large one hook. Classic hooks. Large one, very cheap. We'll take it. Maybe too cheap. At this point, we probably should invest in more expensive hooks, but we're not going to do it at a place that charges us more for it, right? The other thing we could have done instead of doing mono leaders is we could have just bought straight fluorocarbon line and not put a leader on there at all. But I think at Old Berg, the difference in mono leader versus fluorocarbon leader, even with cautious Bream, it's not going to be such a big deal that we have to really worry about it too much. Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah. Are we going to be able to get it over that log? Oh, I guess it's an invisible log. All right. I'll take it. All right, where are we on this? Where's our Bream mix? There we go. Well, we're aggressively going after him now. Ah, does this have a... Oh, interesting. I thought it was going to be that one with a Roach again. It is getting a little late for Roach, though. Right now, the rate in which we're catching these 1 kilo plus Bream is actually pretty nice, considering we just spent however long back at the store. Sort by upload date.
What's...
Ooh! Someone just got a trophy in this very spot. 5.3 trophy. That's a nice trophy for the Marinator. Alright. Let's have good manners and let's say nice one in chat. Alright, first one on our mono leader, by the way. All right, where is this spot? 1538. Okay. Pearl barley, 1538. Catching bream. That's at B6, by the way. B6. That's right over here. Just another. This is another YouTuber that's not an English speaking, I don't think. MJ Play. It just looks like they're kind of doing the same thing, using pearl barley, just at a different spot. So, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, so many good spots are popping up. On the video thumbnail, though, they listed chub and bream. So I was curious if they're targeting chub during the day, if that's what they mean. I don't know. Well, it's not a very long video, so we'll figure that out real quick. Man, almost want to recast this poor middle one that's just like all sad and hadn't had a fish in forever, but we'll give it a little bit more time. So this also, based on this person's MJ Plays experience, this also looks like a pretty good bream spot. It looks like he's just catching a random chub on pearl barley. I don't know how often chub would like go for pearl barley. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if he follows that up with multiple chub. Maybe that spot just happens to be pretty active on chub as well. I don't know. Is that fish on? Like, we are out catching the middle rod on the first rod so much. So far, it just looks like he's catching the occasional bream, not really another chub. I mean, chub are also active at night, or can be. So if they were really active and for some reason really liking pearl barley, you know, could have a dual spot there, I guess. Almost wish he would throw grasshoppers in and really like lean into it to test if they're really there, but I mean, I'm really only seeing the one so far, so that's just like a random bycatch. All right, this has slowed down a bit for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're hoping for a little better than 5. Now, we slowed the spot down by running back and forth to base, but yeah, we got to be careful over here. This is actually inappropriate setup of the rod. Now, the load capacity of this is 6, so it's fine, but the line, the leader is not the weakest point, which normally you want your leader to be the thing that would break first. So we don't want to push these too hard. These are just little cheap Lacerti reels. Like, it's not like they have a ton of hidden strength in them. Yeah, I think that spot looks worse than this one overall. Although it might be close. It's not like this spot's killing it for us right now. telling you, this first rod, like, what's the problem with the middle rod? Come back to us. This might be over 3 kilos this time. Yeah, it looks like it. No, 2.7. $2.7. One second. What is going on? We should have just recast that second one. It has been really slow. Pretty decent. Over, no, just under a kilo. All right, Paternoster. What do you bet this one's not in Paternoster? Basic bottom. I didn't even think about that. We're getting close to Slingshot. That's cool. It'd be fun to use Slingshot like way earlier than I ever have before. Especially with bream fishing and stuff, we could start both using ground bait in the feeders and also using a Slingshot to try to get some extra attraction. Try not to overfeed the water, but see if we can get it to work. I don't know, like, is there a fish on that third rod or not? We should see a spike again, and the size is It's not time for everything to get this small yet. If there's a fish on there, like, it's got to be a roach, right? Oh, it's way over there. It could just be a really small bream, actually. 94 grams on that large one hook. But it is basic bottom. We still haven't tried to change that. So G7. Alright, finally, back on the board with this middle rod. Decent bream. See if we can get it all the way in real quick. 1.9, 44.6. Gotta love it. Got to love it. I don't think that's right. I will say this little 15 clip is nice. Get these fish in really quick if they're not too strong. So that's a nice recovery. We still caught a fish on that line pretty fast after messing up the last bite. Does it already have a nibble on the first rod? Fake bite. That was a total fake bite, wasn't it? It's one of those where, like, maybe you just think about, like, okay, the fish was small, so it bounced off the hook, but it's still weird. Okay, I think we start heading down to the roach spot pretty quick here. $52.32. So next fish we catch, we're moving. All right, so let's go ahead and get this set up. Do we still have roach mix? We do. We're gonna do large one hook still. I think that's what they did. I mean, you could arguably go down a little bit. To like what? A 6? 6 is actually still pretty big for Roach, but we'll try that. No! That is annoying. We might have overstayed our welcome here. We need to make sure I didn't accidentally put potatoes on instead of cheese on any of them. Clip 10. I probably am not going to actually stay down here long. Let's just confirm if we can catch a roach or two here. And then I might need to wrap this up. All right, so just straight out right here, clip 10. All right, so how'd we do? Not great. We call it 8 over a kilo. That's just not, that just doesn't cut it. But, you know, it's one night. You can't base a spot off one night. We need to try it at least 2 or 3 nights to get a feel for it. This is a pretty quick nibble if this is a roach. Okay, we did put potatoes on everything. No, sorry, not potatoes. We did put cheese on everything. The other suggestion for this spot was stonefly larva, which, you know, roach are not particularly, I mean, mayfly larva would also work, caddisfly, maggot, castor, bloodworm. I mean, all these, roach will go for it all. The difficulty with roach is not always knowing when the fish is on. Like that one, that looked like fish on to me, even though it wasn't pulling it. But turns out it wasn't. Yeah, there's a nice roach. Over a kilo. I think a fish is on this one too now. So remember, this is the size 6 hook. Maybe it's still nibbling. So if this works, I mean, this is a cool little combo. I mean, if the level you're at has you fishing at Old Berg and you're testing these bream spots, like to have a spot where you can come catch some really nice roach during the day when bream are silent or small. I mean, that's 2 roach in a row over a kilo. That is very cool. Just to like grind it out, or there may be cafe order you're targeting. If there's a roach cafe order. Although, try not to watch too closely because the nibble patterns of roach can be maddening. Because of how light the roach's bite is, we technically should probably turn this down to a 14-gram quiver tip just to give us a little better chance to see the slight vibrations when it's actually on the line. Okay, I think it's line 3 that's actually on there. Yeah. Remember, this is the smallest hook. So maybe we're more likely to catch smaller ones on that one. Oof. Might be worth just using the large 1 hooks. It's another big one. 746 grams. I don't know how we never ended up with a fish on this one, but it's fine. Obviously the roach are here. Cheese cubes were cheap too, right? It's like 3 silver or something for 30. I mean, you're making a killing of a profit. I like that. If you're really into bottom fishing, you know, and you're, like I said, your level is having you at Old Berg, I think you could do really well popping different bream spots and then hitting roach during the middle of the day. And we stay at roach till maybe 8 p.m. and go hit the next bream spot. It's a nice little rotation. Lets you sort of settle into the grind a little bit. I do hope that now that Old Berg is getting a little healthier, or at least our awareness of spots is getting a little bit more informed, that maybe the same thing will happen at Belaya. Ooh, you gotta love it. 45 silver. I mean, just think of how quickly we would have gotten that done if we were staying out there. That's the kind of cafe order you'd love to see with that kind of roach spot. You get that in 1 day or less even. And we did do 74 silver. That's not too bad. Look at these roach though. 4.5 silver, 4.4 silver, 4.4 silver. These are nice. Every time you get one that's a kilo, that's 4+ silver. That's great. It's not bream, but you're not expecting the roach to give you like bream money. And it's, you know, comparable to like 1 kilo bream. That's great. So really good results there. Glad to see it. Okay, as always, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Tight lines.